Hey guys, so I wanted to apologize for not making more content firstly. Obviously, when YouTube is not your livelihood, you look at it as a secondary thing to make content as doing the actual work that you want to do. This is more of an activist type project, but nonetheless, I want you guys, because you care about this as well, and you're more than spectators, you're many of you activists as well. I want you to know what's going on. And some things can't be divulged right now, but I will say that multiple parties are doing things behind the scenes that I think could prove quite promising, and especially this summer, we have a lot going on. There are a couple things going on that I think are extremely interesting, but they involve other parties, and they kind of have the right to talk about that in their own time and how they want to. So we'll see what comes of those things. But rest assured, there's some stuff going on that I think could prove really interesting and really helpful. So this summer, we have the appeal of Ilas Abdullah, who was convicted and sentenced to 12 years with two served. And stupidly enough, he thought that wasn't good enough for him, even though he was lying during the hearing about a lot of things like feeling threatened, worried about his children. That's why he did these terrible things. He felt so terrible about the first attack. That's why he went back and did two more. They show him arguing about financial things with Goatis on the app, which does not show a man in distress or afraid of Goatis at all. He also kept taking his children back over there, so I don't think he was worried about anything happening to them if he didn't do these crimes. These crimes were done for money. But nonetheless, that wasn't good enough for him. He wants, a better situation for himself, so he's appealing. And in the Netherlands, that's called Hoger Borup, I think. I don't know how to say it correctly, but that's where the higher court reviews the decision. And knowing him, I hope he loses and gets more time so that, this arrogant effort to get a better situation for himself turns into a worse one, like it should. But knowing him, that will then lead to like a Supreme Court appeal, which is called a cassation, where they examine whether the law was applied correctly. So just know that this is how law goes. There will be an end, though. He was found guilty. I don't believe he will win his appeal. I hope he gets more time, but then it still won't be over if he appeals again. So, but then there will be an end point where that's all over and done with. So we shall see how that goes. But that will be very interesting this summer. What happens now? Something I want to show you here because it has to do with some of the laws being violated, and we're talking about the current Goatis channel, not just the Spheria channel. So the situation with them pretending they don't know Spheria is Goatis is being dealt with. It's quite the joke. He even talks about the Spheria channel on the freaking Goatis channel. So it's not like they're confused. But anyway, and I want you to understand something about why they're wanting to feign that confusion. But let's focus on some of the laws in the Netherlands because, the main victim of his main crime, the one he's wanted for, is Diane, and she is Dutch, and it's her son, who is also Dutch. So, Article 285D of the Dutch Criminal Code makes doxing a crime as of January 2024. So, Gaddis doxed Diane back on his Feria channel, but he also doxed her in his little video where he's asking for money for a quote unquote kidnapper and child molester lawsuit against one. Well, he doesn't have any such lawsuit. There is no kidnapper, and he is pro child molestation. There's no child molester he's battling. So that's a joke. And throughout the video, he's referencing a person, and we know the person. He's showing their likeness. That's doxing. So right now, he's committing a crime on YouTube, a Dutch crime. It's a crime in multiple countries, but in Holland, that's the code. 261 would be slander, Article 261, intentionally harming someone's honor by publicly alleging a fact, by showing her likeness and defaming her, alleging that she's a borderline personality disorder or narcissist or a child molester or a kidnapper. All of that is slander. And that occurred on both of his channels. Article 262, aggravated defamation, where the offender knowingly spreads false accusations. Simple insult is Article 266. Article 271, distributing defamatory materials. The social media company itself can be held liable for knowingly doing that because they're assisting in that being done. So once they're aware, they're responsible. So under Article 6, Section 162, defamation is considered a wrongful act. It allows victims to seek damages and rectification. So, Diane could do that for the Sferia channel where she was defamed or for the Goatis channel where she was defamed. And the statute of limitations carries that up into 2028 for what occurred on the Sferia channel and further for what's going on the Goatis channel. So, dragging this out really doesn't help YouTube too much. But I think that they're worried about something like that occurring for what went on the Sferia channel. And so there's still a bit of time there to do that. So, courts in the Netherlands balance freedom of expression, which is covered by Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights, with the privacy and reputation rights in Article 8. What you want to do is say, people are free to express themselves, but other people are also free to their privacy and their reputation being maintained. So, they violated that where Diane's concerned for sure. Article 326 covers fraud, makes it illegal to deceive someone for financial gain. Well, there's no kidnapping or molester lawsuit, and all this other fraud as well, going back to the migrants beat up my girlfriend fraud, on into my broken camera fraud, and so on and so forth. But deceiving people about what's going on with Diane for financial gain, we're covered under fraud there. 328 computer fraud, online scams covers that. So the Dutch Civil Code, it defines wrongful acts like allowing victims to see platforms that negligently allow scams. Consumer protection laws, platforms must comply with EU consumer protection regulations. And the Equal Treatment Act prohibits discrimination. If a platform selectively enforces rules, it could be challenged under anti discrimination laws. Goatis Actions is allowed to use this platform. And, I don't see any of his videos where he's doing any of this rotten behavior being removed, but we see Diane's videos being removed. We see her comments being removed on her own channel. And I see that happening with my channel. So I think a few things could be related, and it's kind of clear that, and he has two channels. He's been banned already. Is he being treated properly under the ETA? Are they violating the rights of the other contract holders of YouTube and Google by allowing him these special privileges? He's such a special person. He's somebody that is not able to control himself, isn't mentally well or sound, and he needs to be assisted in stopping his behavior.